I got here. Really? Back in
Hey everybody, welcome to Street Fight Radio. Still building back our setup from the TV show. Had some problems with the theme song, but we are indeed here once again on this Sunday night to do a Street Fight call-in show for all y'all. That number to dial if you want to talk to us is 614-655-3887. We will answer any and all questions you have or listen to stories that you got. That's what we're here for. Every single Sunday night from 9 p.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time. From here on out, until we start touring again, then there probably will be some disruptions in the feed when that happens.
Call-in. I mean, not in. We will make sure that. I think we decided during our break that we were going to make sure there were shows when we're touring. But yes, there won't be call. We're not going to do call-in shows from hotel rooms.
No. The CM Ruiz shirts are in. They actually have arrived. Katie sent me pictures today, so those will be hitting your mailbox sometime this week or next. Got to get a packing crew together, but they are indeed here. And I will send updates to all of your emails tomorrow when I get around to it. How's it going, Brian?
Good. I did see the T-shirts today. I love the white one. I don't know if people can still buy them, but I saw the white one and it looks fucking really, really cool.
Yeah, that's the chase because not many people wanted the white one. There's a very limited amount of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw it and I was like, damn, I for people that maybe don't know this, I don't usually wear Street Fight shirts, especially if they just say Street Fight Radio on them. For some reason, it feels like wearing a shirt with your own face on the front of it. So I just don't usually wear them. But I saw that and I was like, I'd wear this. I would wear this white one. It's very fucking cool looking. It actually, like, the thing I like about it is that it fucking looks like a shirt from like 1978 that like a punk band printed up and were like handing out at shows or selling at shows. So it's very cool.
Yes, CMRU is the real deal.
Yeah. So you should buy those if they're still available. You know, the black one's cool too. Black's good. I love black shirts. Don't get me wrong.
I ordered a ton of extra. Well, not a ton of extra. I ordered some extras. So store.streetfightradio.com. They'll be available.
This, I swear to you, this was not a planned out plug or anything like that. I just saw it and I was like, I think I'm going to take one of these. But again, I got that sense of self-consciousness of just being a guy that, again, wears a shirt with his own show on it. But I'm sure other people do that, though. I'm sure that's like not a normal thing that's going on with me, you know?
Oh, it happens. I mean, you get so much of this stuff for free. It's silly not to use it.
Exactly. How's your day, Brett? I know you had a big fun time today.
Yeah, I had a great day.
Yeah.
I was at the water park all day.
I was sort of scared, really, and it's not my fault that I was scared. It was my wife's fault that I was a little bit scared because I was like, so Brett went to Zambezi Bay, is the park. They sell beer there. And he's going to be riding water slides all day. No way he'll be in any condition to do a podcast.
Oh,
for
really?
3 hours to. Well, she said it. She was like, "You think Brett's been partying all day and shit?" And I'm like, "No, I hadn't even considered it or thought about it until you said that." And then I was like, "Oh no." But you are like surprisingly don't even seem like you went to a water park today.
Well, the thing about it is the beers were $12, and that really cuts down like the party train, you know.
True.
Plus, I'm also kind of like, you know, if it's a boring weekend or just sitting around in a backyard, that's a good reason to drink to excess. Amusement parks are kind of like built-in fun. True. You know, like I didn't take acid. I did eat a cookie. I ate 2 weed cookies, which was probably the best thing to do.
That's like nothing though. That's like me having my coffee before I came over here to podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good. They were pretty intense. I don't normally eat 2.
Yeah.
And got to go on water slides. We also did the fucking bracelet thing where you pay for the advanced tickets. I mean,
that's what it is when you're fucking, you know, in your late 30s, early 40s. You fucking are just like, no, I'll spend the money. One of the reasons I didn't go is because of I didn't have money. I'm kind of broke. I just got back from an actual like on the road vacation, and up until about 3 hours ago, I thought I was gonna have to plan another trip for next week.
Okay.
I don't have to. The pressure's gone.
Good.
Yeah, if I can't get the fucking luxurious, the whole package, the cabana, the fucking get in the line in front of other people thing, I don't want to even be there. I don't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think you can do fine without it. It's just how you want to waste your money. Like, I don't even think like I think that people that are actually good with money would not waste their money on that. It is a completely frivolous thing, but it's so worth it. Also, it does seem like you're just paying for access, but with having a kid, it's way easier. Because I had to fucking walk around with a kid and entertain her for half the time that I'm there. You know, half the time is hers. So it's easy to run over and just jump on a slide real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I only do things super premium though. Like I can't live a life that's not premium. I live a premium life.
I get it.
Except for my gas tank. I live a regular life, a regular unleaded life. I'm never going to put premium in my car. But if there's a premium, I'm signing up for that premium. I just, you know, although I've been looking at concerts lately because I really want to go to a concert. And I am not seeing a world where I would pay for the VIP experience. I don't, maybe I'm old, I guess. But like, there's nothing, I've said this in the past about other things, but there's nothing appealing to me about going into a room with like a sort of crummy buffet where the band is forced to stand there and you like get to shake their hand for 2 seconds or take a picture. There's nothing appealing about that to me.
No, I'm with you. There's times when I'm like, want to waste a lot of money and I'm like, hey, look, how much is the VIP thing? And the price is outrageous and what you get isn't worth it. You know, it's basically for people that like, if you got in a car accident and one of their songs like saved your life or something, or I think that's the only reason you would pay that money to go just stand around them for 30 seconds.
People like autographs.
That's true too.
For autograph people, that's a big deal. I'm just like not an autograph dude anymore, but there was a time I wonder if VIP tickets would have been something I would have been into in like 1996, where like I very much cared about autographs. Now, I didn't expect to get them, but like if I see Jonathan Davis on the street, I'm getting his fucking autograph, and I'm fucking afraid to talk to him because I would really like to say like, hey, your stuff, you know, meant a lot to me at the time, but I was afraid to talk to him.
Yeah.
And was really just a part of a gaggle of fans holding things out that he could sign. But like at that time that felt like something that was worth having. But now we're way past 1996, obviously. And I do have a bunch of autographs at my house. Maybe, I don't know. I might not have them anymore. I'm should dig them up and try to look for them. But like, I have a bunch of autographs at my house, and like they're all worthless. They're not worth anything.
Well, whatever meaning you ascribe to them. I mean, if they make you feel good when you look at them, or make you take you back in time,
they're not worth any money though.
Who cares? Yeah, I mean yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I think at the time I got the autographs, I thought they were going to be worth money.
Yeah, that was stupid.
I thought like they were going to be like Honus Wagner, like my concert ticket with Fred Durst's signature on it was going to be like having a Honus Wagner rookie card signed.
That's for you. That's all for you. That's for you to take home and cherish and put on your wall, and nobody else gives a shit because they weren't there.
Yeah. Why does it seem like, I feel like maybe this is a new thing that just like, because you're like 5 years younger than me, maybe it's just like you guys were smarter than us, but it really at a time, it felt like an autograph was worth something. There was a period of time where it felt like an autograph was actually like a sound investment in your future.
Well, yeah, I don't know about that. I think you kind of twist things. And that people get obsessed with other people and want to have collectible things around them. I don't know if it's part of like a safe investment portfolio, though. I don't think that was being pitched to anybody.
No, but you know what I mean. Like, because there's those fucking guys, right? And I see them every year during hockey season. These fucking guys that just stand outside of the hotel that the hockey players stay in and wait for the bus to get there, and they just stand there with shit in their hand just to get signed. And it's like, what are you doing? But I guess
sell it on eBay.
Yeah, and they're usually like getting not the ticket signed, the concert ticket isn't getting signed. It's like a plaque,
8x10 photo. Yeah,
yeah,
a game worn jersey or a puck from a game.
But then you're like, who wants that even?
Yeah, that's don't even consider or think about that shit.
I know, I know. But I mean, being a guy that grew up in Columbus, Ohio, though, you also have to acknowledge that there is an entire industry built up around Ohio State Buckeye man caves.
Yeah,
that you could probably make a nice, big, large amount of money just getting stuff. I remember I paid $60 I paid for, and at this time, $60 was $150. It wasn't $60. Like $60 now, you're like, because the minimum amount that stuff costs now is $50. Like $20 is like $10 was when I was a kid.
Okay.
That's
Someone do
how
that
I
math.
explain inflation.
Someone make
You know what
that
I'm saying?
chart on the conversion rate.
But at the time, $60 was the equivalent of like, I would look at something for $60 and I would feel the same way that I do now when I see something that costs $150.
Okay.
And I bought my father-in-law a Woody Hayes bobblehead that Donato's had sold.
Yeah, okay.
But they didn't sell them anymore.
Yeah.
And my father-in-law was like, I can't fucking find these things.
Can't live without it.
Yeah, I need this. It's Woody
screaming.
Hayes. Okay, their street's named after him. Okay, and so I got it for him, and he was very happy. But now that he's like extra racist, he doesn't even like football anymore. It's kind of worthless.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So there's a story of a piece of memorabilia that I bought. I mean, like there are pieces of memorabilia that I would consider buying, like if they were really fucking cool. You know, like a 7-string Ibanez guitar that one of the guys from Korn played. If I like happened upon that and it was like in good condition and I also had the amount of money it would take to buy that, that would be something I'd be like, look, I know this is stupid and corny and dumb, but like it made so much sense to me at a time in my life, you know. I got to get all my autographs. I know for a fact that I do have both. I have ICP's autograph, but not only do I have their autograph, my wife has their autograph too. So we got like his and hers ICP autograph.
You have separate collections?
Well, no, we both went to the same. This is before we were dating, but we both went to the same signing.
Yeah.
So we have the same thing, but hers says, "Hey, Katie," and mine says, "Hey, Brian." And it's like, man, we should fucking put those together in a frame, like a his and hers sort of collection, and hang it in the living room. That's kind of a cool idea. So
yeah. Well, what I was going to say, actually, was that right now with concerts and stuff, I am going and buying tickets for all the stuff that I never saw when I was younger because I did not have the money for any concerts. Mm-hmm. I saw you were posting about how people talk about their 20s being great, and I think that they're telling on themselves because it's like the most desperate, most broke, most craziest shit you will do to survive. At least for me it was. So yeah, I don't think it was awesome. Like when they act like it was easy for us, it's like, or even easy for Gen Z now. Like the 20-year-olds right now are breaking their backs at UPS and in warehouses. It's young people that give up their bodies for this shit, and then they get spit out and become 30-year-olds. You know, that complain about 20-year-olds again. You know.
Yeah, and they haven't done shit. They just didn't get to see all of that stuff.
No,
they like wanted to see. You know, that's. You see this like Limp Bizkit tour going around. It's like I got to see them a lot, but there are probably people that are my age that just at that time were unable to go to their shows when they came through town. And you know, obviously for me, I always felt as though a concert ticket was worth more than having electricity.
Yeah.
I always like would justify things like, look, they're going to turn off the electricity for one day, but I get to see 9 Inch Nails. So that's something.
I wish I would have done that more because now it's killing me.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about the music industry now is, I mean, except for a very small amount of acts, like somebody like ABBA, or something like that, or an act where somebody's dead, if all of the people that were in that act are still alive, it's reasonable to assume that they will come back and tour.
Oh yeah,
again.
for sure.
I remember Lucian, our friend Lucian, was like, you know, it's a real bummer I never got to see My Chemical Romance, and I was like, you shouldn't even be bummed because you will see My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
They're going to go on tour. I mean, it's smart. It's smart for those bands to like take time off anyway. It's smart dude, if you're in a band and you made enough money to live without touring, if you fucking take 10 years off touring, when you come back, the tickets will cost more. You'll make a lot more fucking money. That's just the way I think it's looked at now in the touring business. So, yeah. I can't wait to go to a concert. I haven't even bought a ticket yet. I think me and Brett are going to go to the gathering of the Juggalos, and that might be the first thing I go to. I think. Unless there's something else coming, but that one's coming up sooner than...
Yeah, the only one I want to... The Bully is playing on July 31st, but I don't know if I'm going to go. That's probably not going to be my first one. Plus, I already bought a bunch of September. I have a week in September with 4 concerts. It's like a 2-week span with 4 concerts.
That's so cool.
It's a lot.
So, I don't know what Bully is. Like, I never heard of Bully.
Oh, you would love them.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're good. They're from Florida, like jangly, rock.
Oh,
garage rock.
Oh,
shit.
like the stuff I was into.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Black Lips and shit like that.
Yeah.
Less racist.
Right.
Yeah. We got some calls, Brett Payne.
We do have a few calls in here.
Let's put the headphones on and hey, before we get to the calls, Pittsburgh, September 16th, Street Fight Radio, and who fucking knows? I know that I'm going to be talking to our friends and seeing what we can make happen on these first dates back. But, I mean, it really is starting to look like Pittsburgh's going to be the first show back unless we can pull off a miracle here in Columbus or a couple other places. So, go to our website, get tickets if you're in Pittsburgh. Buy all the tickets. And I'll tell you what, if we sell enough tickets, I will let Heat O'Brien have a few minutes on stage.
Whoa.
Yeah. He can maybe show up and have just a few minutes up there for everybody. I'll do a striptease.
Oh, shit.
No, I'm kidding. I won't do that. But
I didn't know you were going there. You ready to take these calls? Here. Thank you for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey, it's Coleman from Columbus.
What's up, Coleman? How are you? Are you the mayor?
No, I get that all the time.
Well, what's going on, Coleman? How's it going?
Hey, good. Before I get to my thing, you guys were talking about meeting your idols or seeing your idols and getting their autograph. And I live in Columbus, and I was walking down the street and I saw you, Brian, and I was so starstruck. I was like, I can't say anything, so I just kept walking.
You should always say something. People stop me all the time, and like it doesn't. Here's the thing about me. I don't take breaks when I walk, but I'm totally always 100% okay to stop for a few minutes and talk to somebody. It would be very dickish to do my job and then be like, don't bother me on the streets. Thank you. But yeah, you should stop me next time whenever you see me, because I'm always in the streets. People always are like, I get so many people that say, I saw you walking around, but I was afraid to stop and talk to you. And it's like, hey man, I spend like 8 hours a day alone just wandering the city. So I like to talk to people.
I will keep that in mind.
But hey,
I wanted to call.
I do need to tell you though, where you, and this is just a words thing. Please, I should not be your idol. That would. I have fucked almost everything up in my life over and over again, but I appreciate the sentiment, really.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. I'll keep that in mind next time I see you. But the thing I wanted to talk about was I wanted to call in to discuss and kind of plug my union, or our union that we are starting.
All right.
Where's it at?
For the listeners who,
I think it's beautiful.
sorry.
I want you to know that I find it beautiful that you said my union, but then corrected it and called it our union. That is extremely aware of what you're saying. It's a very beautiful way to be.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I try to be. And yeah, our union, for the listeners who don't know, there's a suburb, sort of a suburb in Columbus called Worthington. And I'm a librarian at the Worthington Library there. And we got together and are forming a union, and we just went public with our union.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Is the Worthington Library one you go to, Brett, or is that a not part of the library system?
It's part of Columbus Public. I go there.
Okay. Is it so it's part of Columbus Public Libraries, and you went public with your union, or is this a separate library?
It's
separate. It's we like share, like, you can share books and resources across libraries. We're kind of like and we're in a consortium with them. We kind of share stuff with them, but we are separate libraries.
Okay.
And yeah. So they are not union or organizing a union, but yeah, we're separate. We're starting a union, and we've got, right now we're in the middle of trying to convince our board of trustees to publicly recognize the union, because they're kind of deciding whether they want to recognize the union or if they want to force us to a vote. So that decision has yet to be made.
So can I ask you, and I don't expect you to, if you don't know it, that's fine. Do you know approximately, okay, there's a better way to ask this. Are there unionized libraries?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there's actually a bunch in Ohio, like Dayton, Cleveland Public Library. Yeah, basically everywhere except Central Ohio.
Interesting.
Oh, I mean, that's also, isn't that the way it is also with Giant Eagle? That like almost everywhere in Ohio, Giant Eagle is union, except in Central Ohio. It's
really? Not
union. I'm fucking 90% sure they're represented by the UFCW, but they are not here in Columbus. What has the reaction by the bosses, the board and stuff been? Is it uncomfortable there, or are you, how's it going?
Yeah, so we marched in to go public, and we tried to, read our statement to the boss, who's our director, the director of the library, but he wasn't in the building, so we couldn't deliver it to him. But so far, like, the leadership at the library, they've been kind of mum about everything. They kind of have been not really telling us what's been going on. There was a meeting of the board on last Wednesday, and normally meetings like that are open to the public, but because it involved like personnel and HR and stuff like that, it was a private meeting. But they went for 3 hours, and normally at the end of the meeting they'll vote on a resolution, and they were trying to vote on whether to recognize us or not, and they did not come to a resolution. They were debated for hours and came to no decision. So we don't really know what they are leaning towards or what they want to do, but that's why we're trying to put pressure on them now so that they just will recognize us.
How fucking weird is it? Like, you think about like a place that you would think would be relatively easy to unionize, I think, where like, I know a lot of librarians, and they have very sympathetic to union beliefs. I mean, my aunt is a librarian, and everybody just thought she was crazy, but she was also a leftist. You know what I mean? And like, I think that's seriously
right.
Though. I think that's why my parents were like, I'll tell you a little story about her. She's a librarian. She has a house out in Granville, Ohio, a farm.
Nice.
She lives out on this farm, and here's something: she doesn't own a TV, so that's really why we all thought she was crazy. But the other part of this is Verizon offered her a lot of money to build a cell tower on her land, and she organized all of her neighbors and chased them out. It didn't get done because she chased them out. And my dad would be like, she's just, hey, Susan, she's fucking crazy, But like, I always saw her as somebody who was very sympathetic to left causes. And I just wonder, like, that's the way I've always seen librarians, and all the librarians I know are sympathetic, but also most of the people I know are sympathetic to left causes. Would that be, would that, and what do you think of the board? Like the people that are going to decide to recognize your union, like, are people that are part of libraries mostly, pretty liberal, at least? I won't say leftist, but liberal.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but certainly for me, I would consider myself sympathetic to those type of causes. But as far as the board goes, I don't know. It's hard to read them because, a library board is not necessarily people who work in libraries. They're usually like big people in the community. So I think some of the people on our board are like lawyers and business people and stuff. So we don't really necessarily know like how they feel about unions in general, or how they feel about liberal or leftist causes. So it's hard to say where they stand on that. But as far as us, like, I certainly am more sympathetic to liberal and leftist causes, but that's just because I believe in collective action. And I think, we're able to get an overwhelming majority of support at our library because, everyone at the library believes in each other. We all like working together. We all have that solidarity, and, we believe we can make the library a lot better by forming this union.
I mean, I hope it works out for sure. What kind of demands are you making other than recognize our union?
Well, obviously that's the main one. Everyone kind of had a different issue that they had, or a different reason for wanting to unionize. There was definitely for my case, I definitely don't want to be at will anymore because, through the pandemic, it was kind of scary not knowing, the job insecurity for everybody was definitely a thing, but that was a big thing for me, no longer being at will. Some sort of grievance procedure if you have an issue with your manager or with another coworker. We a lot of us are looking for that kind of procedure to put in place. There was also, I guess, before all this happened, before the pandemic and everything, there were some issues at the library, and they tried to fix that. The directors started this thing called the Culture Club, and I was part of that, and it was a bunch of coworkers and people who got together, and we would talk to people in the library, workers in the library, and see if any issues they had or suggestions they had, and kind of take those suggestions to the higher ups. But what we kind of figured out over time was that they were really, like I said, they were just suggestions. We couldn't really move on the things that we wanted to see change. We didn't really have a seat at the table. So I think that experience definitely colored my perception and other people's perception of what it would really look like to have a seat at the table, to have, a balance of power. And the only way we were going to be able to get that was through the union.
It is so funny that, like, there are so many of these businesses that could, not have to look. Businesses hate unions, and there are so many of these organizations that could never have to deal with a union if they would have taken you seriously when they started the Culture Club. Right. Yeah. Then, like, you guys, it wouldn't even be going to make a union. Probably everybody would have been fine. But now there's got to be a ton of fucking consternation because they decided that they were like, I hear you, go talk to everybody and find out what their problems are, and then we'll, like, not fix it, actually. And then come and tell us what the problems are, and, whatever.
We'll ignore them.
Yeah. Fully normal. Yeah, it's, I mean, it is very weird how so for the whole day today, for the Wednesday show, I've been listening to an anti-union podcast, and yeah, there is a podcast called No Union Radio, I think, that I've been listening to today. You know, giving them my ad dollars. Actually, they don't have ads, but it is hosted by a real nothing, and I can't find it now. Okay, so anyway, it's hosted by a guy with zero charisma who also fumbles his words all the time, but he's doing a taped show. He's not doing like me and Brett. We do like live to tape sort of show. He's doing like an edited up show, but he fumbles his words all the time, which cracks me up every time it happens. But like all of his things that, I mean, he never talks about how much people make. How much money people make. That is the one thing that he always skips over. And he's anti-union because businesses make I guess less money, but I don't even know if that's even true. I don't know how much union membership even hurts the business, because if you don't got a business with employees, you don't got a union because you don't have a business.
Right.
But it's a library anyway. I am really shocked that all the libraries aren't union number one anyway. And some of the stuff I've heard, I mean, the wages are pretty low for most of the people at the library, right?
Yeah, it depends on, obviously it depends on your position and, which library you're at. But we do have like a lot of hourly employees. And I think sometimes people assume like everyone who works in the library is a librarian, but most of the people who work in the library are not librarians. And, especially if they're the sole breadwinner in their house, they're making hourly, and it's not necessarily that great of a wage.
Yeah. Well, Coleman, let us know how can we support you and help get this union recognized.
Yeah, so we the board is meeting again tomorrow. So what we've been doing is we've been circulating a petition. I think anyone in Central Ohio, so any Central Ohio listeners can sign it, because we want to focus on Central Ohio, because those are the people who would actually use the library normally, right, who are patrons at the library. And you can find that at our social medias. Our handle is at WPL United. It's on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, and signing that petition. Or if there's people who are familiar with the Worthington libraries and they go to our website often, just sending in a reference question at the website to say, hey, I'm a patron at the library and I support unionizing. We basically just want to show the board that not only do we have a majority of staff who want this, so we would win an election if they try to do an election, but the community supports us as well. So there's really no point in bringing it to an election, because the workers want this, the community wants this, and the library is supposed to answer to the community.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. Let's help them out here. Let's get a union in one of the libraries in town. Worthington too. I mean, they can afford it.
They can. And it's a great library. It's a magical little library. The one I got, the old Worthington one. I like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Well, thanks for calling in, Coleman. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah. Have a good night. And stop me the next time you see me.
Yep. I will do that.
Peace.
Yeah, I mean, librarian is pretty common for us from way back. I think lawyers, teachers, librarians, they fit right in there.
Yeah, and also just like I said, I only knew one growing up. It was my aunt, and you've talked about your crazy aunt too in the past, where you're like, hey, wait, she's not crazy. Like,
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
the one that spoke multiple languages and traveled all over the world and had a bunch of really exotic experiences. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my aunt. It was like they're just like, she speaks French, or like she can sing. She's like a classically trained singer, and my parents are just like, she's fucking weird, man.
Yeah.
Steer clear of that. It's like, I mean, she seems like she's living like a really fucking interesting and good life.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't want to end up like her. I mean, she named her kids weird things, and also
that happens.
And people do that though, And also the thing about not having a TV, it just didn't ever work for me,
Yeah, I think it's a good challenge.
Back then, though.
Yeah, back then it was nothing. I mean, you were like cave person.
I know. Look. I could get rid of all the TVs in my house right now, and I'd be perfectly fine. I'd just read a book before I go to bed, or listen to something on my phone or something. Totally fine with that. I mean, and I'm saying this would be the challenge for me. Like, no video content, period. I could live that life. I could live for at least a month.
Okay.
A month. A no video content life, and I would feel just fine about it.
Okay.
Just fucking fine about it. But in 1992, take away the TV, you don't got a whole lot else.
Yeah. That was probably the only good thing about life was TV back then.
I know. I mean, people would like, their TV was like an enormous investment in their house. Like my parents fucking bought a TV that took up a quarter of the living room that we lived in, and just size. It was this huge fucking thing with like one of those screens that are like ribbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you rub your nails on it.
And dude, we loved that screen. And they were like, "Don't touch the screen," and then we touched it so many times.
Just up there, just doing acting like you're a DJ on it.
We did, absolutely, and it was scratched all to piss.
Yeah,
and yeah. But man, we loved that TV, man. We were hooking up. Sometimes we'd hook up the game system to that TV instead of the 19-inch that it was on. And
yeah, we had a TV for a while that you had to beat sometimes to get it to work. It would go out and you'd have to smack the shit out of it until it started acting right again.
Right, and people think that that's not like. People think that's an exaggeration. Like, you can't just hit something and it will fix.
The old ones.
But like CRT TVs, I believe that's what they're called. Now I just said something that somebody will be like, "That's critical race theory," actually. The TV. But anyway, it would start like doing that thing where it like, mine would turn green. The whole screen would turn green, and then I would just slap it and it would go back to color TV.
Yep.
Every time. And, or it would do that gimmick where it rolls.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you would just give it a whap, and then it would be like, TV's working. I don't know what the actual fix was there.
Yeah.
I would be so curious.
A jostled, like a loose cable or something is getting jostled.
I'd be so curious because you weren't even hitting. Like, now if you slapped your TV, it would break. Probably if you gave it a fucking hard slap.
Yeah.
But you weren't touching anything. There was so much fucking case.
Yeah.
Around the innards of a TV that if you smack it, you're fucking not even hitting anything, really. So
yeah, the good old days.
Yeah. But yeah, my aunt not having a TV was like the thing that like really blew our minds. But she also, in her house, we used to stay at her house for a week every summer, and she had a motherfucking pipe organ, like at a church.
Okay.
And she had a collection of books like you've never seen before. And like she lived on a farm where you were allowed to ride a tractor. And she would let me drive the tractor. I was fucking 12. I couldn't drive anything.
Yeah, that's country rules.
Yeah, and she would let me drive the tractor. And it was just like, at that time I was like, I'd really like to be watching Martin but this is also good. You know, this is fine with me. And now that I'm a little bit older, I can appreciate not wanting a TV. And again, if somebody wants to pay me a large amount of money and say, Brian, I don't think you can not watch videos, like no video content for a month, I'm willing to take that challenge.
Okay.
I mean, when I say that, Brett, I mean I'm not allowed to look at TikToks. I'm not allowed to watch the videos on Twitter. I'm not allowed to stop and look in the window at a place.
How do we know?
That's a good question. I would never rip you off. Just did a show about scams.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's just a bet I would take.
Okay.
I think that's a bet that I could be successful at. And, I mean, the listeners don't know this, but I was living without air conditioner. Brett knows it because it's all he heard about for like 3 days. I was living without air conditioner. That I couldn't live without. Like, for real, serious. This is no bullshit because I'm sure you're hearing a lot of bullshit from people in this part of the country. But hey, solidarity with you people in the Pacific Northwest. I just feel terrible. I really feel bad for them. Have you been seeing? Because we stay up there when we tour up in Seattle and Portland and stuff, and they don't put air conditioning in those houses. Like 109 degrees there.
Oh, yeah?
And, yeah. It's just, those people ain't built for that. You know? Their houses aren't ready for that.
How'd it got warm there?
It
Don't have a
gets
summer?
warm, like in the 70s, maybe the 80s. It doesn't get this kind of hot like it does here.
Mm-hmm.
And every place we've ever stayed in there didn't have air conditioning. They all had heat, but they didn't have air conditioning. So,
Yeah,
I think a lot of people don't. Well, I pay attention to air conditioning.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You're the expert.
I spend a lot of time thinking about air conditioning. Mine got fixed. My landlord came and he said, I fixed it. I'll have to order the actual part though. and put it on another time. So I'm trying to figure out how long this fix could last. But when my wife was like, yeah, he came in, he said he's going to order the actual part and install it. And I was like, oh, I'm wondering what kind of fucking disaster's happening out there.
Yeah, how did it get working?
What kind of freon? Hey, it's snowing in my backyard. I hated not having it, though. Special thanks to Drew Toothpaste and Icy Jake. They got me window units for my daughter's room and our room, and we were able to sleep. It was just the rest of the house was inhabitable.
Yeah.
Uninhabitable.
Yeah, it's tough to be you.
So, it is. Thank you. Thanks for saying that.
You ready to take another call?
Yeah.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Oh my gosh, what's up, my two favorite white boys from Columbus?
How's it going?
It's Bobby the bartender. What's up, guys?
Aren't you in Seattle, Bobby?
I am in Seattle.
I just did the solidarity speech for how hot it is there. That is, are you okay? Do you have air conditioning?
Bro, I am. Look, let me tell you right now. I was born in air conditioning because I am from Louisville, Kentucky. So I was born in air conditioning. I will die in air conditioning. I don't play about my air conditioning. So when I moved here, one of the first things I did was I went on Craigslist. It was during the winter time. Found a portable AC, like a $400 unit for like $100. Bought it, put it in storage because I was like, these fools, they don't. No. Climate change. Like, if y'all think this is a game, we gonna see. And look, 4 years later, look who's laughing. Like, I got this.
Sitting in just a cool bedroom. But yeah, you're right. Because I started to think about that too, because the way that my problem was actually solved there for a period was that two guys I knew had window units. And I was able to go and pick them up and, they just loaned them to me. And I'm like, but Craigslist probably isn't full of window units up in Seattle because people don't buy them because they don't really need them. So
what happens is that.
I'll tell you this, Bobby.
Oh, no, you're fine. Go ahead and go.
I'll tell y'all this. This was amazing to me. So we're searching all over Facebook Marketplace. We're searching all over Craigslist for air conditioners. My wife finds an ad, and it is, a pretty part of the ad was that they were closed Sunday so they could spend time with their family.
Okay.
It was a very this is a family business. This is a very kind family business, and we just want to get air conditioning in your house. We have them for $50. Give us a call. You come and pick up one of our $50 air conditioners. Okay? Katie fucking called him. Guy answers the phone. She's like, "Do you have any window air conditioners for sale?" And he was like, "Yes, they start at $350." It was like, you motherfucking scammer.
Whoa.
So it wasn't 50.
No, they playing games. Uh-uh.
I mean, that's when you're broke and you have to use Craigslist and stuff. I mean, that's the most powerless I feel in my life is when I get stuck in using Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace sort of thing. That's where I feel my least powerful because, I've talked about it on here before, but I'm afraid to haggle with people. And I also a lot of people don't even answer when you respond to them. So
yeah, it's really flighty people.
It's crummy. So how are you doing, Bobby? What's going
lucky.
on? Oh, really?
Well, I've gotten pretty lucky on when it comes to okay, so when you're looking for on OfferUp and all that crap in the Seattle area, a lot of times most of it's pretty legit just because people they'll be here for a few years and then they're leaving. So when they come in, they'll acquire a bunch of new appliances and laptops and stuff what's it called? Screens or monitors and all kinds of stuff. And then they move and they're like, "I don't want this. All right, we can't take it with us. We're going overseas." And so they just want to get rid of it. And that's how I've come across 2 portable ACs.
That's great.
I don't think
I've just gotten lucky.
I never find anything good on Marketplace or Craigslist. I don't know how to search it though. I think there's something I'm not doing right. Because I searched window air conditioner. I searched window air conditioner within 30 miles of Columbus, Ohio, and 6 came up. There's no fucking way. There's only 6 of them on Craigslist.
No, you're going too deep. You got to just start with AC. You have to start with just the letters A and C. Start there at 30 miles and then check OfferUp, Let Go, and Craigslist. And then you have to kind of scroll through because for some reason, some people, you can pay to have your listing be higher up. And so sometimes you'll get a bunch of the crappy ones or the really expensive ones up top. But if you keep scrolling, you'll find the guy who posted it, 24 hours ago and no one's called him because it was buried halfway down to the site.
I'm now just learning about OfferUp and that other one you brought up. So Let Go. I didn't even know about these. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, I like these
there's a lot more stuff on those.
I like these because I was a huge fan of I like going to places and buying junk and stuff. And this OfferUp is fresh, Brett, because they have it's all pictures. You don't even have to click on just a link. You can just look through all of this. It's they got 5 lug universal rims for $200 on here, and they're painted though, blue or white and red, and they got clothes on here. So I'm gonna have to really get into this.
They started off with really good apps. That's what happened. They started off with just really good apps, and so kids or people just want stuff fast. Poor people who don't have computers, they have a phone, which is a computer, but they have their phone, and then they're like, "I need to sell these things because I need rent money." And OfferUp and Let Go were the easiest ways to do it, the most convenient ways.
Yeah, we've been talking. Me and the wife have been. She was like, "You should sell some of your shirts," but I was like, "I don't think anybody will buy them because they're sun bleached." So like, I don't think I can sell the shirts. I mean, maybe somebody will buy a sun-bleached Supreme shirt, but I doubt it.
You never know.
It worthless.
Look overseas. Sell it overseas. Like, hey, you guys were talking about like autographs and stuff, right?
Yes.
So you have to think that people overseas, especially in like Asian countries, because I mean, I've noticed this here in Seattle, right? So they value like the things that we just take for granted because they're here, like these celebrities or whatever, they're here. Over there, it's a big deal to get autographs and stuff. So a lot of those people you see waiting after games, they've got 7 items to get signed because they know where they're going to sell them at.
Oh, yeah, that does make sense. I mean, I guess it's still a risk because you might not get it. Yeah, you might not get it, but I guess, like, I wonder if somebody in Japan would buy my Fred Durst autograph. He signed it Fred Biscuit.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. He signed it Fred Biscuit, and Jonathan Davis signed his name HIV, but it looks like a happy face. Just so I know that, like, he signed a lot of other stuff that way.
Okay.
But, like, I wonder if I could get those authenticated and see if I could sell them in, like, Japan or something.
Go on Pawn Stars.
Yeah, for sure.
Pawn Stars. Oh, God. Oh.
I mean, the worst places
something really...
Pawn shops are the worst places in the world, especially for guys like me.
I was raised in a pawn shop. Look, my dad is such a hustler, right? My dad is such a fucking malignant narcissist, but he is a hell of a fucking hustler. And so growing up, all I can remember is, okay, so he would, when he would have me on the weekends, or the weekends he would come, he would say, okay, we're going to go to this carnival. We go, you know, like those Catholic picnics, and they have the carnivals or whatever, because I love roller coasters and stuff. So we would go to one of these carnivals, one of these fairs, and then, of course, the whole point was that he wanted to go to one of these fairs because it's going to be near a bunch of pawn shops that he could stop at, and he learned how to read the numbers. So like every item has a sticker on in the pawn shop, and he taught me how to read the numbers. It'll tell you when they post, like when that item was purchased, like when it was purchased and how long it's been on the shelf. So that way he knew how to negotiate with them.
Oh,
so that's what I was learning as a kid.
That is, I mean, but that's like a really good lesson. And you know, the good thing about like, you probably also learned how to haggle, which is just something that like, I can't do. Like I could never figure out how to, I'm afraid. It's just hard. It's just different. It's uncomfortable though, you know?
It's uncomfortable. That's what it is. Okay, look, when I moved to Seattle and I had to live in my car for 22 months while working 2 fucking jobs, that was uncomfortable. But I'm still here. And a year later, like, I paid off all of my fucking debt, got my student loans out of default, and now I actually live in a house that I pay rent. I've been here for a year now. Like, it was uncomfortable, but what came out of it, my God. And get this. And on top of that, I am running for Seattle City Council right now. Oh. Position 8. Yes.
Wow, awesome.
Can you believe it?
That's
really?
Great. Yeah.
You got all
really,
the...
like, real talk.
Hey, here's the thing, Bobby. You introduced me to this OfferUp website. This thing has 100 crisp, brilliant, uncirculated, sequential serial numbered US $2 bills for $225. So you're just making $25 off of $100 or $200.
Yeah, that's 10%.
That's dope. Yeah, somebody's grandma, like somebody definitely inherited that from their grandmother or grandfather or something. Was like, I don't fucking need these $2 bills. Like, I could get rid of this shit.
I mean, I did the same thing. So, what got you running for city council?
Well, you guys know. I mean, I remember when I first called into the show. And I was like all pissy about how this city is like, what's the word I like to use? It's a like conscious capitalism type shit, you know? Like y'all talk about it, you know, these building like all this new stuff, but they can't maintain anything. You know, there's no such thing as improving what you already have. The only money is in building new stuff. Mm-hmm. And they create all these things that make you think that, you know, that they're providing or they're doing stuff for the community, but it's not happening. All of it's getting funneled back to developers through like nonprofits, through the city councils. It's just all of this. It's a big circulation. It's kind of like a buyout. It's really weird. So you got to have a crisis. That was my biggest thing, was that at the time, like, I was homeless, and this is when I really wanted to, it was like 2019. And I was like, okay, so the city says they're doing all this stuff for homeless, but the way it works is that you can only get money from the city if you're about to be evicted, and then you may get like $300 or $400, from like a nonprofit or a church or something. And if you're on the street homeless, like you're actually on the street, then they will do a needle exchange. There's a place where you can go get showers. And I got that little book that says all the little things they offer, but there's nothing for the people in between. So it tells me that, like, oh, you guys just want to maintain homelessness, because if you keep it a crisis, then you can keep getting funding for a crisis. And the more funding you get for a crisis, that funding goes directly to, it doesn't go to the city council, it goes to like nonprofits and organizations and charities. All that money gets pushed to them, that they get millions of dollars, and then it's up to those places to distribute it. And every single one of those nonprofits, they have a board. I work for a nonprofit. I know, like, there's a board, and that board, they're making over $100,000, $200,000 a year. They're making a shit ton of money on salary. And so all that money is getting funneled in, and it's getting spread out, and that's the easiest way to do it. This is, you got to have a crisis. With no crisis, there's no funding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I want to break that cycle with the city. Like, I'm a proponent of housing, like immediate housing placement. Just an evaluation. Is this person, are they serious? Are they ready to do this? Give them 6 months. If in 6 months we can tell if they've gotten a job, or they started a business, or they are working their way towards the help, we'll give them another 6 months. Use what we already have. You don't need to build. There's plenty of places. I used to sleep in my car in front of these like monstrous fucking buildings, like these apartment complexes that were just empty, brand new, just empty. And I'm like, why don't you just make a deal and get people off the streets now? But if you did that, then how could you get all this federal money? How could you get all this extra money? So
yeah, I mean, that kind of
candidate.
We were complaining about that on the Wednesday show.
I know.
They keep saying there's a housing crisis. We need houses for everybody. It's like, or that they need to build more houses for people. It's like, you don't have to build houses, man. There's plenty of fucking houses. We got all the houses we need. Let's put people in those houses. But you're right. You can't make money.
It's all part of a scam.
Yeah.
And you guys know how it works. We're scammers, like all of us. We are all scammers in our own way. Anyone who's been at the bottom in their 20s knows how this works. It's just a bigger game. All they're doing is they're just playing it on a more protected level, where they're not getting caught by like Target or Walmart security for like, getting out of the store with shit. They're protected by just layers and layers of like agencies and like businesses and all kinds of stuff that are protecting them. They're insulated. So they can just keep doing what they do until someone like me comes in and breaks it all up.
Right, and it's about being. I mean, when you say scammers, it's like I mean, when you're doing it to survive, like if you're good at it, that like muscle never leaves your body. You know what I mean? Like, I still look around like, yeah, when I go to the grocery, so I went to the grocery store last week to get groceries, and we were broke, but because we just got back from a vacation, I spent money stupidly and all that stuff. But the cable company, we signed with a new cable company, and they sent us a $150 credit card.
Nice.
So I went to the grocery store, and I was like, I'm going to use this $150 credit card, and whatever it costs, that's what I'm going to use. I scanned all my groceries. I got to the end, and it was like $148.
Nice.
But at the bottom of my cart, I had a 12-pack of Diet 7-Up, 3 8-packs of seltzer water, and I think there was a cold brew coffee in there too.
Right.
I was just like, fuck it. We're just going to stop scanning here and get
Push
the
it.
fuck out of here. Yeah. And I did. I got out of there. Nobody said anything.
Perfect.
It felt so goddamn good. And the lady was looking at me too. I think that's the weirdest thing. But the good thing about Kroger, at least, and believe me, there's not a lot of good things about Kroger, but the good thing about Kroger, but the good thing about it is the self-scan checkout lines, they don't want you to put 8-packs and 12-packs in the bagging area. Like, they tell you to put it back in your cart. So, like, they don't know
Yeah,
what's
it doesn't even say skip bagging. Yeah.
It does. It does say skip bagging. So you can get away. I mean, unless they're standing looking right over your shoulder, you can get away with just not paying for that shit. It's fucking incredible. I love it. I love the self-scan.
No, look at this. No, look, I was in Fred Meyer. This was maybe like 3 months ago. So I was in Fred Meyer, which is basically, it's Kroger. Like Kroger owns them out here. It's the Kroger for us. And I had a bunch of like detergent. Like they had detergent on sale, but you had to buy like 4 of it or something, you know, like 4 of that brand. So I had like 4 different detergents and stuff in the cart and some other stuff. And I'm like waiting in these long ass fucking lines at the self-checkout. And I'm already thinking like, okay, so I already got to pay all this money for this shit because this is so expensive to live in this city. So I'm like, I got to pay all this money for this shit. Y'all motherfuckers can't even open a damn register, right? So I was like, cool. So I'm standing there. And then I was like, you know what? I'm over this. Like, I got things to do. Like, I had my comforter drying. I was like, I need to get back to the damn laundromat. My comforter timer don't went off. I got to go. I walked my ass right out the door with a cart full of detergent and shit.
Nice.
Walked straight to, and I did it like slow, cool, calm, and collected. Like, bitch, I paid for all this. What you gonna do? Like, that's how you gotta have that confidence because they can't tell you nothing.
I don't.
The employees are more worried about being wrong and accusing somebody that looks confidently innocent.
I had to say, I had an issue today where I was at a gas station that I go to stop and get a drink, right? On my walk, I stop at the same gas station pretty much every time to get a drink. And the service there is as bad as any place I've ever been to in my life. Either you need exact change and the credit card machine doesn't work, or there's only one person working and they got all this lottery shit going on. Like, you're always waiting in line, right?
Is it a Speedway? Is it a Speedway?
No, it's not. It's a Duke and Duchess, which I believe is. But
right.
I'm standing there fucking waiting with one Gatorade in my hand. I don't have anything else in my hands, dude. And I'm just like, I could just walk right out that door and nobody would say anything. But I chickened out and put the Gatorade down and went to a different place. I was bummed about it because I just kind of felt like, because their fucking credit card machine's always down.
Yeah.
It's always motherfucking down.
And you could take a hit for a Gatorade. You could take that charge.
I know. It's not even a charge, dude.
Yeah.
But it just felt like stealing.
Nobody cares.
I feel, yes, exactly. But I feel like stealing from the gas station is a high risk situation to me because it's such a small store.
It is. It just depends on how many people are in the line and what time of the day it is. Like, if the cashier is moving real quick or whatever with the people, like the line's moving fast, that's when you got to pay for like the Gatorade and the Krispy Kreme donuts, you know. But if she's taking forever trying to find somebody's carton of cigarettes and shit, then that's when you just like, okay, cool, I'm done, bye. Like I got my car's filled up or whatever, I'm out.
I tried. I stood here and I tried to be patient and I couldn't, so I'm leaving.
I gave it my best shot.
Everybody was so hot under the collar in this gas station, and I kind of felt like being like, let's just all go. What are they going to do?
Everybody run.
Like, organize like a revolt? Because there were people buying like 24 packs of beer there, and it's just like, we could all get away with this, man.
They're going to hire a PI to build cases on all of you.
Well, that's the gas station.
Right, exactly.
That's the gas station in town that won't let you wear a mask.
Oh, really?
It has a sign that says no masks on in the store. So they have...
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're mostly worried about someone coming in with a gun. That's the kind of stealing they're worried about usually, I think, at a gas station.
Oh, yeah. But I think the employees can end up, like, getting in trouble because if they catch people stealing, like if I'm sure the bosses, the owners of these like franchise gas stations are freaks, and they sit and watch. Yeah, and they sit and watch the surveillance video, or at least fast forward through it. And if they catch people stealing, the person at the cashier gets in trouble for it. I just feel like that's got.
Look, I'm gonna tell you this really quick. I'm gonna tell you this really quick story. Okay, look, I worked at Waffle House. I was a server / cook / everything / therapist at Waffle House for like 2 years. Okay, and I remember like a while back you guys were talking about people working at Waffle House or whatever. So look, let me tell you this. I worked on third shift, so we had cameras everywhere inside the store, and so like the back door, like go take out trash. Well, what would happen is like when we would come onto our shift at 10 o'clock, the manager with the GM or whatever, the owner, franchise owner, he'd come in, he'd put like a certain, like, one of those like marked zip ties, he'd put on like one of those zip ties on the door as the door lock. So that way, if anybody tried to go out there and smoke or sit out back or something, or use the back door for anything, you'd have to snip that zip tie off. Yeah. And like, and so what he would do is he would sit at home, like when he would watch on his phone, like everything that we were doing. So, we may get a random phone call at, 3:45 in the morning if two of us are sitting in the back and the cook is passed out drunk in the front, we may get a phone call saying, hey, y'all need to get your ass out on the floor. Damn. Let so-and-so finish sleeping. Yeah, like that's how a lot of these like small, like these franchisee people are about their business. Yeah. It's like their first time owning the business. It's like the kind of business where you don't have to put in any fucking work. You just got to put in money. And then you can sit there and then just be a dictator and be terrible.
God, I've never heard of the zip tie. I've heard of it in like trucking and stuff like that. But the zip tie on the door thing, I have, that is a low thing. So, yeah. Well, Bobby, tell us how we can help you get elected, and how can we help you get elected? Is there a place to go?
So my the website was just finished, like the first version of it. So it's up now. The website is Accountable to Seattle. That's the number 2. So it's accountable2seattle.com is the website. And you can donate through the website. I think it's like through PayPal on there right now, because I'm trying to make it through the primaries, and that's when I'll do like the other stuff to fundraise. But so the website's up, and I'm on Instagram right now. I'm trying to think of what it is. I think it's Accountable Bobby on Instagram. And Twitter, I just got the Twitter going. It's like Bobby or Seattle's Bobby at Seattle's Bobby for Twitter. I literally just got this stuff started because I had to do this all on my own. I don't have like a whole team behind me. So I am kind of figuring out as I go. But I've got some really good momentum. Like I've met a lot of people in the city. I've got a lot of support, and it's going all right. It's going pretty good. Things got to work out in their own time.
You've got the Seattle Street Fighters there to help you too. So
the site looks good.
Yeah,
I like the colors.
Yeah. Well, have a good night, Bobby.
Yeah.
It's good to hear from you.
Job.
It's great to hear from you.
Thank you so much, and I'm so happy that you're back, guys. Thank you.
We are
Appreciate
back.
It.
You're welcome. Brett,
have a good night.
I think I may have found something. I think Bobby may have hipped us to something.
What's that?
That could help you a lot. OfferUp has a clothing section. And there's like a lot of Supreme stuff on there and Gucci stuff, like Gucci t-shirts for $25.
Okay.
And I know you have a lot of that kind of stuff too.
That's true. I need to unload a lot of that actually.
And you could unload it for what the real price would be too.
No.
There's a lot of stuff on here that's suspect. But
yeah. No rip-offs, but you got to pay the price for the nice stuff.
Yeah. Why don't we break?
Okay.
Then come back here and take some calls.
Sounds good.
And that sounds like the way to move. It's 10:23, so we're breaking a little early, but I got to pee really bad.
All right. This is Kill Hamster. They write in and say, hey, dudes, I don't know how much music you have queued for your shows. I'd like to submit a couple remixes I've done. Looks like we've got a Limp Bizkit and a 9 Inch Nails remix. You can find these at soundcloud.com/killhamster, KILLHAMSTER. And we will be back in a few minutes after the break. We're Street Fight. Peace. Pretty toot toot.
Hey, we're having problems with the music, so I'm gonna sit here and podcast. I had to pee real bad, but once the music does kick in, I will be leaving to take my break. I don't really know what to say. I mean, I had bad air conditioning. For the weekend, we finally got it handled, I think, so that's nice. My wife sprained her ankle in a very funny story. She was drinking, which I know, crazy that somebody around me would drink. But anyway, we're hanging out, and we go out to look at the stars on this beautiful night in rural Asheville, North Carolina. And I walk over this thing, this ledge, and I say, hey, somebody's gonna fucking get hurt on this ledge, so watch out and be safe. And then seconds later, boom, she goes down, she stays down, and that is what we've been dealing with lately. Brett, the music is not working, so I'm just podcasting currently. I said when the music starts playing, I will still take the break, but we might have to sit here for a minute, or we don't have to, obviously, but if you want to take a break, I can cover for whatever. I don't know. I'd say Jake cut this out, but I don't imagine he's going to cut this out.
We can let him know.
All
right, welcome back. You just want to take calls? We only got one call. Oh, no, we got two calls left.
Well, they could. Okay. Well, if you want to call in, you can give us a call.
No.
No?
Yeah, they can.
What?
Nothing.
What's going on with this?
Well, let's just take these calls and get out. We'll end the show. We'll take these calls and end the show, I guess. And come back and try again next week.
Oh, thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Street Fight, hello. I'm here to talk shit on BrewDog.
Oh, do you work at BrewDog?
So I used to work for BrewDog up until fairly recently. If anybody who actually works there is listening, they will recognize my voice because I was the person that always talked. And about the last year I worked there, I got promoted to like the very bottom level of like what you could call the manager. So like I got to see a little bit of peek and peek into it. So it was kind of fun. It was kind of I'm kind of at a unique position here to finally be able to talk shit on these people.
Yeah. So we read an open letter that the employees of BrewDog wrote, it didn't have a ton of details in it. We were just sort of calling attention to the fact that they are striking, or not striking. They just wrote an open letter, and we're going up against
Treated
the
poorly,
company,
essentially.
right? And we were actually wondering, like, what the issues were there.
So it's like that particular letter comes from BrewDog UK, because they're fucking huge out there, man.
No,
And the way they started is totally not punk, which makes it like so funny that they went with the punk angle for so long. They brewed 4 beers really quickly, and then flooded a contest to win sponsorship by Tesco, which is like Walmart for like the UK.
Oh, okay.
So they were sponsored by like the biggest grocery store to grow their brand as fast as possible. But like in the US, like it's the same issues like were there. Like it's much smaller operation, but the same issues were there.
Yeah, well, and I wrote in the letter, they also mentioned that like the atmosphere was something that was just like just a fantasy that they talked about, wasn't something that you could actually, wasn't anything that the company actually lived by.
Yeah, so this is where me being able to talk shit comes in, because like I got in there like in, when was it, 2018 or whatever, and it was just, and like they set it up, and the way they talk about it, it's, oh, it's so good, it's so amazing. And they're like, we have a unicorn fund, which is a cash payout at the end of the year based on like the profits the bars make.
Okay.
And they're like, and the health benefits are cheap because James wants everybody to have affordable health care, unlike your government. I'm like, okay, tight.
Talking shit about us.
Right, like I can't talk shit about that. It was like my healthcare was $20 a month for like ever. It was
Yeah.
tight, but other than that, everything fucking sucked. They screwed me out of the cash bonus because they're like, oh, we expanded to 5 restaurants this year, or 5 restaurants, bars this year. So that kind of ate the bonus, but that we'll pay you next year. And after that, it was like, now it's pandemic time and we can't pay it this time. We'll get you back. So I figured it was never going to happen.
Right.
But another big thing is James Watts is very much a dudes rock kind of fella. Because the place that I work, he bought straight cash money, which like isn't the major like main location, but a smaller one.
Yeah.
And he would come in there like this, and it, like come in there with like chicks on both arms, slamming like buying drinks and slamming liquor for people, throwing booze in like the artificial fireplaces to like make big fireballs.
The fuck?
And like the whole time, like if you were a random patron, you were expected, like someone, like, he was gonna come up to your table if you had a chick there, and he was gonna like schmooze all over, no matter what you did. He was kind of a creep.
Yeah, right. Hasn't he been called out for some of that stuff? Like, why do I?
Yeah, because that was a big thing, and he liked to go around and just do that. His wife finally just divorced his ass.
Yeah.
That
So were
doesn't
you
say
in?
much.
What?
That doesn't always mean a person's bad. 'Cause
It does,
someone's wife
actually.
divorced their ass.
True.
So were you?
True. It's just, he is
Yeah.
openly cheating on his wife.
I get it. Yeah.
Were you in Ohio by any chance? I know you don't have to dox yourself, but were you working in the Columbus locations?
Yeah. I was working at one of the 3, now gonna be 4 Columbus locations.
What was that fucking
It was
for?
The city loves BrewDog.
It was a unique experience for sure, because like as far as like they're like on the low end structure, like the corporate thing didn't really like you didn't really experience it a lot unless you happen to be trying to get a promotion, and then you could see I would say like kind of boys, like not like locker room culture, but it's like kind of like dude bro culture, kind of ran BrewDog.
Yeah.
So like it was like woke dude bro culture. So like if you were a chick trying to get like get promotions, it became like some of them were obviously, like, why did I get passed up for promotions? And on the corporate end, if you were like lower end, who cares? But like, they would stop by all the time, and you could feel every management's asshole like clench all the way tight, because they knew like if something went wrong, there was going to be like an hour meeting the next day, and the meetings were always just like someone from corporate singling out anybody and then just berating them.
So that was because they talked about a culture.
I was on the receiving end that one time.
Right, they talked about a culture of fear, but they didn't quite explain what that was, and I was actually very curious of I don't expect you to give specific examples or anything like that, but it was one of those things where they like would single you out and scream at you in front of everybody.
Yeah, so like it's like there would be, because it wouldn't be everybody as far as like in front of like hourly employees, but if you were like management and like shit was, and like for some reason something sucked, like they would wait until the next day. They would wait until the next management meeting, which there would be like 2 of them a week, mostly just to discuss like what the plans were and like how scheduling looked and so on and so forth. But like they would show up and they'd be like, all right, so we want to talk to blah 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 about, and it would be like, just in front of the management, like all the managers would just be there, and corporate would show up and just like, hey, you sucked at your job the other night, and just like absolutely skewer people and then leave for the day.
Okay, and he's in Columbus. The owner is in Columbus.
He wasn't a lot last year because he's based in Scotland, but he flies out once a quarter for like 3 weeks, and then the people that he hires to do the corporate and out here are all like they all had relatively close connections to him at the beginning of the company when they were running it in Scotland.
Really? So he flew.
They had a really big in-house scandal. Oh yeah, he takes a private jet out here once every 3 months.
So, and he flew out his people to run it's not, what I'm asking is, it's not exactly a meritocracy.
No. It's not exactly. Like they filled in some, yeah, but a lot of it were like people from like some of his people from Scotland, and then they would like they handpicked who would serve under him. And now like some of them have like weeded themselves out, but like a lot of it's still there.
Wow. So it's just it like it comes off like the environmental stuff that BrewDog promises is also bullshit.
And he does legitimately promise that. Yeah. Not really. That is something I'll give them slight credit for. Is like they do try to do as much as they can to like stay true to that woke bro culture that they kind of embody. They do those kind of things, but they do it for tax write-off reasons. Like they don't do it for the exact right reasons.
Yeah.
Like that dude sold something in the UK for $2 billion and decided that when we were needing to hire people, he wasn't going to pay people more than $12 an hour for the kitchen side, and like on the server end, it was pretty low, and they made them run skeleton crews and tip sharing, which like wasn't great according to a lot of the mainly ladies that worked the floor.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, that sounds awful.
Yeah, fuck that plate. Fuck BrewDog.
I'm glad to like see them start getting exposed, but it's so like they're getting exposed for being like the kind of like bad bro dude stuff. But if you like look, they do kind of try to be nice, but all the things they try to do to be nice like just backfires because they're so, I don't want to say evil, that's heavy-handed, but like they're just not. They're growth over everything. Growth over everything.
Yeah, they're just kind of it's like I guess like it's like nasty people running this thing, and you're like, you know, it does sort of like, if they're doing some of the right stuff, you're like, you got to give them credit, but like you don't really have to give them that much credit if they're doing it in the nastiest way possible. You know, that's the way I think of it. Because like we talk about this a lot with like farm to table restaurants that are like, you know, I'm a farm to table restaurant. The cows are raised in a pasture and treated delicately, and like all the, you know, it's just all of this great stuff about the sourcing of the food, but they treat the employees like fucking shit and pay them nothing. It's like, well, that just makes the whole thing nasty. It like, just because you're doing some of the right stuff, some of the responsible stuff, like, if you're treating people like shit, then it's just, it taints the whole thing and makes the whole thing nasty.
Yeah, like that's where I fall on it, because like I left because they were just working the absolute like dog shit out of me, and I found an opportunity to get out and like get some free job training to do IT work, and I'm like, oh, I gotta do this. I'm getting out of BrewDog. Oh my god,
hell yeah,
like
great.
I got exposed to COVID 5 different times there, like last year. Like I had to take 10 weeks off, and then I got furloughed twice. I think I spent almost 7 months just chilling in my apartment.
Fuck.
Because of BrewDog.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, thanks for calling and shedding some light on this. We really were kind of confused by like what the issues were, but it just sounds like an altogether nasty culture, and that kind of thing can be very hard to describe, like in an open letter.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Yeah, it's hard to describe what.
Yeah,
a nasty
you nailed it, because
is.
like it's ran by woke dude bros who are concerned only about growth in their brand. It bleeds through everything, and it makes everything kind of nasty.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, thanks for calling.
The beer is kind of nice, though.
Yeah, Brett likes the beer too.
It is nice. They gave me 50 beers for Christmas instead of my bonus.
Oh my god, this bonus talk makes me nuts. Like, you never got? Did you ever?
Crazy too.
You said you were there in 2018. Did you ever get a bonus?
Nope. I joined too late to get the 2018 bonus, and then it got screwed out of the 2019 bonus, and it's got the pandemic ate my bonus, and I got turned into 50 beers.
The pandemic eating your bonus shouldn't happen.
That's like.
Brett's like,
that was kind of the final straw for me. I was like, oh, god damn it.
I mean, BrewDog's doing
okay
money.
I appreciate you guys letting me call in and talk shit to BrewDog. I'll let you guys get to the next caller.
All right. Thanks for calling.
Peace.
Have a great evening.
You too.
Have a keen evening.
That is interesting that he said they got into Tesco, because that's what got me hooked on them here, is that they sell it at Costco here. So you can get like a 24 pack, which is very hard to find in like craft beer, but they have like big packs of them at Costco all the time. So we drank tons of them during the pandemic. So I don't know what. Yeah, they definitely had bonus money, because I drank more BrewDog than ever during the pandemic.
I mean, I feel like I find it hard to believe that like a lot of these companies, especially beer and liquor and like alcohol company, I find it very hard to believe that they ran up on hard times during the pandemic. Now, in the case of BrewDog, the restaurants, bars probably did hit hard times. They didn't make money.
Yeah.
But like, it's the same thing as the grocery stores being like, we do hero pay, and then getting rid of the hero pay, where it's like, motherfucker, you made more money, and now, Brett, I read an article about how like the grocery stores now are getting like annoyed, and like they're saying like, okay, you know, things might get tough now because people are going out to eat again, so they won't be going to the grocery stores anymore.
Time to tighten our belts.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're like Target had an employee thing. All right, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm getting tired.
Okay.
What were you saying?
Nothing. Go ahead. Take the call. Hello.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey, Street Fight, what's up? This is Jonathan in California.
What's up, Jonathan? How's it going?
Good. It's not too late to call, is it?
No, you're good.
I think I
How
jumped
are
in
you?
at the half. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I'm
you're good.
doing good. I think from listening to the earlier callers, you got a couple from Columbus and one from Kentucky.
Yeah, so far.
No. Seattle and Columbus.
But Bobby was from Kentucky, though.
He is from
Originally,
Kentucky.
yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm originally from Dayton. So I think
Okay.
you have a full slate of callers tonight
We got
from
locals.
Ohio and Kentucky.
We got a little Ohio area. So what's going on tonight?
Ohio River Unity.
Nothing. I was just calling in to say welcome back, I guess.
Well, thank you.
But,
we appreciate it.
Yeah, it's nice to be back.
Yeah, and I was listening to your first caller trying to organize librarians, and I think they'll be real receptive to it. In our bargaining unit, we've got among the librarians, we've got 100% union membership. So library is a stalwart for us. Yeah.
Yeah, I would
impressive.
assume librarians are great. They're the sweetest people, and they single-handedly probably floated or kept us podcasting for the 4 years where we weren't really making any money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kara.
Not as easy to organize. Yeah, not as easy to organize teachers in the business school or the economics department as the library. But
No, that is
library's
true.
good.
That is very true. Well, thank you for welcoming us back. We appreciate it.
Yep.
And we're beset by technical difficulties. So we're going to call it an early night this week. But thank you for
Sure.
calling in.
Yeah, talk to you later.
All right.
Appreciate
Have
it.
a good night.
We got one more. Last call.
All right. Last call.
All right, let's do this. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey guys, it is Jack from KC.
What's up, Jack? How's it going tonight?
Oh, it's going. I'm just smoking per usual. Breaking the Ohio streak though, because I was born in Kansas and I was raised in Kansas City, Missouri. So I don't even think I've driven through Ohio, but I don't think I've ever even stepped foot in it.
I spent a whole summer in Kansas. And, I spent a whole
What
summer in
part of
Kansas. Wichita.
Uh,
Is it?
not that great.
But I bet you there's cool places in Wichita, right? I kind of have always wanted to do a live show in Wichita, Kansas, because I spent a whole summer there.
Maybe there might. I don't know. Like I said, I live in Kansas City, Missouri, so I am more familiar with the Missouri side. But
Yeah, I have been to. We did a show in Kansas City, so we have been there. We're
yeah, next time you come by, I'll be sure I show up.
I hope to be there. I hope to come by there soon. So what's going on tonight?
You guys have to. Nothing really. I just figured I'd call in after hearing Bobby talk about stealing shit.
Okay.
Because I was up in Denver a few weeks ago, like 2 weeks probably, just for a little vacation, like 3 days or whatever with some friends. And one night we went to a gas station and stole a couple bottles of Robitussin.
Smart. Did you do it? Did
Yeah.
you drink a whole thing?
Yeah, I drank a whole bottle. It was a good high, I guess. I don't think I'd do it a lot.
I mean,
But-
people tend to hate robo tripping. I mean, you're one of the first people I've heard say it wasn't all that bad.
I didn't. I didn't get like the stiff legs or anything like that. I was just, it kind of felt, I've only done Molly once, and it felt like a lighter version of that.
Wow.
Damn. Maybe I'll have to try it again because I've done Molly and really enjoyed it. So I'll robo trip. I've never robo
Also
tripped. I don't
quite a
eating things.
lightweight though for most drugs. So like I said, I only took a bottle, and I only weigh like 150 pounds.
Okay.
So I don't know what the like tolerance rate for that is, if like weight affects how much you need to drink or not.
I think anything you drink,
You know,
weight is involved in that. I believe. I think
for the most part, I would think, yeah.
Yeah, because my daughter was like telling me yesterday, like, you should get some food in your stomach before you eat an edible, and I'm like, I don't think it works that way. I think you just get the same high no matter what you eat. But I think things that you primarily drink, like alcohol, cough syrup, and stuff, you know, having a little food on the tummy might dull the buzz, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I've never found that I ate a meal and then did a drug like that and then fucking just was like oh shit, you know, I'm less fucked up. I've never felt that way.
Yeah.
So well, thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
Have a good
Yeah,
night.
sorry about the early night, but
We'll get it all fixed. We're just, when we were on vacation, I guess I can explain it to you. When we were on vacation and filming the TV show, Nick from Means unplugged every single thing in the studio. So we're having to go back
come on, Nick.
and reset up. So for those who wanted a 3-hour call-in show tonight, you can blame Nick because nothing's working.
Mm-hmm.
Well, regardless, I think the short call-in show is probably worth it for all the content that's going to be coming out on Means. So
That's true. Well, thank you for calling in.
yeah, you guys take it easy. Have a good one.
Peace.
Yeah, appreciate it. Have a good one. Thanks for tuning in to Street Fight Radio. I'll make sure and just put the Kill Hamster song at the end of this show so that way we don't have to worry about paying him back. Thanks for sending in your music, Kill Hamster. Sorry it didn't get played live. We'll be back on Wednesday to do another basement show. I think we're going to do it remotely, though. But that's coming Wednesday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are Street Fight Radio. Peace.